This is the Maestros versus Limitless in the first Open of RLCS 2025 SSA. Our story begins last season, where two players of the Maestros swept all three events in the final split, taking the SSA spot for the London Major. Now this year, the lineup has changed. Torres is on the roster in place of Rubik's, and instead of the team playing on high latency from Spain, they're playing straight from Cape Town, South Africa, with great ping. So will the Maestros' migration cement them as champions, or have SSA's best locals improved enough for the challenge?
Our name has grown as our reputation has spread across the world. There's been one team that's led the charge, one team to carry the flag and represent at every of the biggest stages. Limitless looking to do it once more.
Limitless begin this match with something fans needed to see, a confident attack. Snowy air dribbles past one and nearly scores against an unready Maestros defense. The reason this is so important is because the Maestros do not concede goals easily. In their last two matches, half of their wins were shutouts, with the other half allowing just 1.5 goals per game. Snowy and the Limitless team need to find the secret sauce to break through. Limitless try to spring on this attack with a demo and a pass attempt, but Maestros respond accordingly and are able to reset with a long clear. But the problems are about to begin for Limitless. A common theme for this team is their need to limit mistakes, whether that's giving away possession, miscommunication, or flat out missed touches. And here, Sweaty misses his own pass off the wall, leaving to dive for a losing 50, and Snowy with no boost or option to save Maestro's first goal. These are small mistakes at first, but they can't be afforded against a clinical and quick team like the Maestros. Agility and physical play are hallmarks of the Maestros playstyle, especially when it comes to VK Salen's notorious disruption tactics. Demos and boost steals are the focus, and while this goal at first may seem like a mistaken own goal from to die for, ask yourself where the last defender was for Limitless. Take a look back. VK is hunting Sweaty. Then, on the next camera angle, he's on the ceiling. VK climbed on the backboard just to bump Sweaty, clearing space for Torres to score. This play also showcases how much better VK is in bumping and bump evasion. As this play developed, VK dodged a bump from Sweaty on the ground, then nailed Sweaty on the backboard. If VK either fails to dodge the bump or bump Sweaty, this goal never happens for the Maestros. Game 1 progresses with great offensive ideas from Sweaty that aren't enough to break the Maestros. A ceiling double that lands in the defender's hands, a fake past one of the Maestros that unfortunately ends the possession, and then a solo carry that's just deflected and eventually brought away. After the Maestros trade a few shots to Limitless's half, it's time for Limitless to find their chance. An errant touch from Leoro puts Snowy in position to double tap and it is saved, but now the press comes. Sweaty earns 2 touches that forces Torres awkwardly off the backboard. To die for smartly pushes up despite his low boost into a waterfall pass that finds Snowy for their first goal. Limitless understand that it's not often Maestros will be put on the ropes, so these are the moments that they have to commit and earn their goal.
But it puts it right in front of Snowy. He makes no mistake.
The final 90 seconds illustrate another major roadblock for Limitless, and that is Maestro's relentlessness in quick challenges. So many of these quick challenges stem from great midfield positioning, awareness, and conservation of speed from the Maestros. They eliminate the chance for Limitless to capitalize on solo plays and stretch the Maestro defense thin. Even if it's pre-jumps off the ceiling, Maestros are willing to stop every Limitless play short. With the midfield contested well by the Maestros, it's an all-out brawl in the last 30 seconds.
Early, great shot to die for, unfortunately not close enough to the side. The power was all there, the intent was there, the execution struggled. He has to make up for it now with some defensive work. Still retained possession here from Limitless. It's a big bump, gonna find onto the backboard, it's unchallenged. Someone challenging from the sky. Still, Limitless hang around, it's a great bump to transition into a pass. Leoro tasked to do big work out there. Snowy wants to bring it back for one more chance. It's gonna be kept up to die for, the only one within snatching range. Out of the corner, Snowy's waiting, but hammered down. To die for, still keeping it up. Sweaty can't get to it. Maestros take game number 1.
Game 2 is here, and there's a couple key areas of focus for Limitless: countering Maestro's speed, limiting mistakes, and capitalizing off pressure. A formidable kickoff defense from Limitless does lead to a possession that leaves more to be desired. Sweaty's air dribble begins the attack, but But eventually, the ball is placed in Snowy's hands that goes directly to Leoro, who beats a far forward to die for. The midfield battle wages on, and the possession is kept alive for Limitless, as Snowy sends the ball downfield for Sweaty. That ends up as a misread. That is eventually, and fortunately for Limitless, saved afterwards. Lacking precision on the ball, Limitless have given up a chance to start ahead in Game 2. But with a stronger defense between squishy saves and good reads from the rest of Limitless, they keep the game even. Now the halfway point is reached, but the endurance of Limitless is falling apart. A Torres reset calls all 3 Limitless players to the ball. To die for in the first challenge, Sweaty with the save and Snowy as support. All 3 of Limitless are found bunched together, and with the die for securing boost, he takes over, but VK Salen flexes that speed once again, ripping the ball off an unprepared to die for. With Sweaty and Snowy low on boost, Torres picks up the clear and scores. One miscommunication led to a mispositioned team, scarcity of boost, and an inability to buy time for players to fuel back up. But Limitless are given a miracle chance to respond. The kickoff goes elegantly to Torres, who finds VK Salen and he misses! With 1 to beat in Leoro, Snowy fails to get it past, and the makeshift Limitless defense completely crumbles. To die for opts for a slow drive challenge to force the flick and then follow with a bump, but he's bumped Leoro into the shot. Sweaty has been faked and the ball rolls in. While the bump and the fake feel unlucky, it is questionable how To Die For nor Snowy are anywhere near the net. While a counterattack is in progress, should Snowy be going for corner boost, and should the Die For be turning upfield? These last 2 goals demonstrate a lack of control that Limitless have in this game, and the more possession giveaways or slow challenges lead to opportunistic and smart wins for the Maestros.
The ball, because right now it looks like Maestros are going to take a 2-game advantage in the grand final.
Position.
The 1-minute mark of the game is reminiscent of the fervor seen late in Game 1, drawing on the need to score for Limitless. Sweaty delivers a valuable setup in his flip, reset, dump, and bump, leaving 1 left for either team. Limitless know they have to capitalize here, so Snowy turns in to find Sweaty, who turns to shoot, but it's saved. There's no follow-up as Snowy is retired for the mid-boost, rotates to defense, and misses the save on the other side. Game 2 is over, and Limitless have gone 10 minutes to score only 1 goal. As the Maestros pile on the late game goals, to any team the next decision is clear. It's time to call a timeout, cut out the momentum of the Maestros, talk over the issues each player is dealing with, and align on a game plan moving forward. But there's no timeout! I can't really explain this decision. There's too many advantages to using your timeout now over any other time in the series. Maybe as Maestros were scoring those late game 2 goals, that's when Limitless took the time to talk over their strategy in the next game so as to conserve a timeout. That's my only guess, because not only is this the best time to use it, if you lose this next game, not even a timeout is going to save you from a reverse sweep, trying to do that in a best of 7. It's noteworthy that this is the first grand finals we're seeing this team coached by CP Zebra since the removal of Nox's, so I would love to poke his brain one day to find out what happened here. So with no break, into game 3 we go. Areas of focus include Limitless's endurance, if it will break down in the second half like it did in Game 2, and honing in on their possessions by taking better 50s and not getting pile drive by Maestro's swift challenges. Outside of an initial look from Limitless that gets blocked, Maestros dominated the start of Game 3 with pace and possession. An air dribble clear, winning 50, and quick challenge wins the midfield battle for a minute-long tirade of Maestros. Fortunately for Limitless, the Maestros fall short on a lot of their shots, making for an easy save and eventually a clear for balance. Suddenly, on an awkward catch from Torres, he's demoed and the shot opens up. To Die For, it's saved, and Snowy has it saved by Leoro, the rebound and rush proving unsuccessful. A team bump thwarts any progress on the attack. The next minute sees no goal hallmarks, but indications that Maestro's aerial pace will give them the edge. Again and again, quick challenges and aerial beats keep Limitless out of scoring range and back into their own half. VK Salen continues his headhunting with plays that begin as shots but end in a targeted bump or demo, keeping Limitless on their toes. Slowly, each play chips away, and the passing plays from Maestros becoming more and more threatening with no escape. It's a tough save for Snowy, and with the proper positioning and boost advantage, Maestros hit it away from Limitless and eventually in the net for their first goal. Limitless have been worn down yet again. Limitless begin to tilt the risk meter and clear their own path to success. A leading demo off the kickoff eliminates 2, now 3 players from the field, leaving Snowy alone. The open space is bad news for Limitless. While To Die For can put a hand up, Limitless are beaten in the skies again for an opening that VK punishes, granting 2 to the Maestros. At this point, almost every goal replay is a reminder that Limitless are not able to tune their gameplay to the speed that the Maestros bring. In what feels like an oasis in the dry desert, the South African locals pull together an attack with a clear redirect combo. Sweaty positions to push the ball center, but it's met by VK, who after challenging positions upfield to catch the clear and put yet another game away. Another dreadful 5 minutes ends, resulting in an 11-1 score differential and little hope left for Limitless. A timeout is finally called. The greatest challenges that Limitless expected have ballooned into inescapable threats from the Maestros, outpacing in aerials that make Maestro possessions last forever. VK Salen's disruption game that keeps a counterattack or demolition looming at any time. That, coupled with Limitless losing composure and effective communication as the games go on longer, spell out a losing battle from all fronts and no resources left for survival. Game 4 begins and each threat rears its ugly head for what feels like the final time. Maestros force double commits off open space. Maestros win aerial challenges to keep Limitless blocked off. And scrambling for boost, VK Salen continues his tyranny in the way of demolitions and boost steals. It's clear that Limitless have to outlast another strong assault to see their first chance at the orange side of the field. Perseverance pays off. Snowy takes a few smart challenges to drive the ball into the back corner, earning an arrow chance now for Sweaty, but it's foiled as the play was overcomplicated and given away. But Limitless are feeling opportunistic with all team members on full boost. Each member strings together a passing play with Sweaty's pass just overshot, missing his target. On the turnaround, Limitless now nearly concede from overextending and never seem to balance afterwards. A couple shaky saves are made off the flick from Sweaty, and Maestros win every challenge thereafter. Leoro wins a challenge to the corner, VK denies control from Sweaty, and Torres dives for a slot that puts Limitless behind again. This is the final stand. There appears to be a more open midfield, allowing both teams to weaponize towards their aerial strengths. Sweaty bumps and dumps to Die For that Torres takes safe control of to start their own counter. Snowy's attempt to stop the Maestros puts the power back in the hands of VK, who slings it to an open Leoro, cut off at the last second by Sweaty. Given boost and time, Snowy air dribble flip resets onto incoming traffic, and a swift turnaround leaves Sweaty to defend yet again, attributing a couple blocks back to Snowy. Craftfully, Limitless have dragged Maestros into one corner, but before Snowy can remove the final defender, VK leaps up and dives on the clear. Counterattacks continue, with each team hoping it becomes a springboard to capitalize on. A hard enough shot that would force a defense to stumble, an opening to demo and leave a goal to burst the Ashes away. A pass goes frustratingly undone and the song and dance continues. A mimicked play mocks the scoreboard as the ball travels along untouched like a tumbleweed to the corner. An air dribble loses steam as every tool is out of the box for Limitless, but none of them seem to fit the job. To the final breath, Limitless fight.
Out of the field, not being cramped up like they were in previous events. And certainly Maestro has been reduced in terms of their lead that they've been able to put up. Still, Limitless, you've got to answer. You've got to have even a single goal to force the overtime. 10 seconds left. It's on the wrong side of the field. Limitless looking for the counter-attack now. To Die For, he's done it over the buzzer before. Needs his teammates to come to the fore. The Sweaty gonna carry it high. It's defended. It rolls around. Limitless, they let it touch down. Maestros in a sweep take the first qualifier.
And that was it. Outscored 12-1, Limitless fall to their rival. While Game 4 seemed to be on a nice edge, it's hard to say if the Maestros felt tested in that way. Sure, opportunities to equalize came about, but no true threat was ever formed. That last bump never landed. That passing play never connected. Full of ideas and lacking execution, Maestros accepted their victory unscathed. This match answered a lot of open questions for us here for the people that cover SSA. Before I get to that, I hope you enjoyed this video, this full breakdown. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment on some other things you'd like to see or what you disagree or agree with me on in my analysis, and subscribing would help a ton. But this answered one thing, and it's that yes, Maestros are better on the same ping. We didn't know that after last season. Another item is that yes, this series was still competitive enough that the major spot is still up for grabs. Limitless can contend and win. We saw how close that was at the end of certain games, especially game number 4, but improvements are necessary. First of all, more comfort is needed playing at the pace of the Maestros. It's clear that more scrimming or more practice or more continued efforts at this pace of play is necessary. If Limitless, though, are getting dunked on instead of taking good 50s, they're getting beaten to aerial challenges, and they're continuously making forced errors, this has not been achieved. Secondly, Limitless have to play against the Maestro strategy. They need to be aware of VK's positioning at all times. If he's left to run rampant and kick Limitless off their flow, bump, and boost steal, then they're playing Maestro's game. Finally, Limitless just have to execute. Game 4 was a prime example on how some of those situations just needed to have a shot on target or a passing play that would connect. I do feel like this team is very close, but they've got to make the right calls. They've got to execute properly, and we'll see what happens in the future events. Thanks for tuning in. Again, subscribe if you care, and we got predictions for the next event coming soon on this channel. See you then.